Welcome everyone to the 2023 CJ Careers Day. My name is Omar Melchor. I am one of the faculty in the Criminal Justice Sciences Division. And I want to welcome and introduce Dr. Mari Sakiyama, who's going to be moderating the panel. And she's going to be introducing the panelists for the event.
Thank you, Dr. Melchor. Hello, everyone. We have a wonderful alumni here. So if you're a panelist, it would be fantastic if you can come up to the table over here. I know 3 of you, but 2 of you, today was the first day I've met. This is so exciting. Thank you very much. Okay, so as they are settling in, I would like to go from, I guess, this side of the table. We have Sabrina Hunter, working for Salem Police Department as a detective in Person Crimes Unit?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Welcome, welcome. And you graduated as a class of 2007 Bachelor of Science in Law Enforcement, which was, I think, long before I came along here. I guess the name was in criminal justice back then.
No, it was specialized to law enforcement.
All right, next we have, I guess, I'm so sorry if I butcher your name, so I should pronounce you as Houston Damier. Did I say it correct? Welcome. So you work for Washington County Sheriff's Office as a forensic technician in a forensic science unit. Welcome, and you graduated in 2015 from, I'm assuming, a criminal justice degree?
Criminal justice and forensic anthropology.
And forensic anthropology. Okay, thank you very much, Houston. And we have, I'm assuming you must be Myra Mendoza. Thank you very much for coming. You graduated in 2018 and also criminal justice, correct? She's working for as a parole and probation officer at Polk County Community Corrections. Welcome. And we have Kevin Jones. He is, as Dr. Melchor indicated, he works for Federal Bureau of Investigation, aka FBI, as a tactical analyst. And your graduation year was 2012 and from criminal justice as well. And then we have our NTT faculty member, Jeriel Cartelis. Did I say it correct?
Cartalis.
Cartalis,
It's
okay.
close enough.
I'm the wrong person to be pronouncing people's last names, I guess. Okay, all right. So you graduated from 2013 as a bachelor's of Science in Biology, and she had received master's in forensic anthropology from University of Dundee in Scotland. Welcome all. So since I would like to leave some time for questioning, I won't be able to ask all of the questions to all the panelists. And if you would like to jump in, students, parents, please feel free to do so. Okay, so if I may, I would like to start with you, Sabrina. What do you, in your profession, what does your typical day consist of usually?
Like Mari said, I'm a detective. I work in the sex crimes and child abuse unit. So my day is very unpredictable. I attend a lot of meetings. I interview children at school, at children advocacy centers. I do write a lot of reports, a lot of desk work. And lately I've been writing a lot of search warrants. As a detective, my job is, I started as a police officer, but now my calls used to, take approximately half an hour to an hour. Now my cases can be worked for several months up to a year. So it takes a lot of research and a lot of digging, rather.
Okay, let me ask the same question to you. How about you, Kevin? Typical day.
Yeah, that's
for you.
It's very similar to Sabrina's. Every day is a little bit different. Essentially, I spend my days focusing on finding people, places, and things, and progressing all of our federal cases in Salem. We cover the 5 counties surrounding Marion County, and it's always a little bit different. It's always unpredictable, but they're always busy. So I do have that going for me.
Thank you so much. Oh, more folks are coming in. We're doing the panel session of alumni right now. Welcome. There's some empty seats over here as well. All right. How about you, Houston? Why did you choose to come to Western Oregon?
I came to Western Oregon because they have a reputation for being one of the best schools in Oregon for law enforcement. I have always been interested in forensics, and I knew that from the time I was in high school. And so I decided to come here to further my degree in forensic anthropology and criminal justice.
Perfect. Thank you very much. What about you, Jeriel?
I did not come to Western for criminal justice. I came to Western for their biology and anthropology programs. I knew that I wanted to study bones, but the forensic anthropology minor didn't exist when I was a student. So I kind of winged it and figured out what I wanted to do. I knew that Western was the school that I wanted to go to, and then they started the forensic anthropology minor in my senior year. So I did my minor in an entire year, which I would not recommend to any of you. It was very stressful. I don't think I slept at all.
Thank you, Jeriel. Myra, what motivated you to choose criminal justice in particular?
I was very interested in criminal justice since high school. I was getting myself involved in my high school they had like specific criminal justice classes, and I just started randomly taking them. And as I started to learn more about it, I just really wanted to keep going with it. Then I chose Western, started getting myself into more classes and learning about different positions, and I was just really into it. I knew I didn't want a regular just all-day office job. And so learning about the parole and probation position allowed me to be out in the field, still have office, some court. So it just allowed more mixture, and I really liked it.
Thank you, Myra. Good deed. Okay, so let me ask this question to all of the panelists here. In what ways do you think your degree from Western Oregon prepare you or gave you an advantage in your profession? Sabrina, would you like to go first?
Sure. I would definitely stress the writing piece has been essential to my career in law enforcement. As daunting as all of the writing courses are in high school and college, they are insanely important in this career field. Every police report that I write there's a paper trail of how I am and how I do my investigations. Each report I write is seen by DHS, attorneys, FBI, other agencies, and nothing is more embarrassing than going to court and having a defense attorney attack your grammar, your spelling, how you formulate a paragraph, et cetera. So
I would say for me, working in law enforcement, I'd say more and more they are requiring you to have a minimum of a 4-year, sometimes 2-year degree, depending on the position, but a lot of times a 4-year degree or better. So I think that, along with the connections that this university has, I did my internship with the crime lab with the Salem Police Department, and I think without that internship, it would have been a lot harder for me to initially make connections in law enforcement that I wanted to connect with to get the position ultimately that I have today.
For me, I would stress as well the writing. Everything we do involves some sort of writing. We have to note down exactly why we're doing something. Another thing, the internship. The internship really helped me make those first connections to really get going with just finding a job, getting to know people. So I would really stress the writing and the internship. The internship basically was what helped me along the whole way.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with everything that they all said. I do think, for me personally, one of the biggest benefits was having access to faculty that supported me through our internship process. I think without the internship, I would not have got into the FBI, because that's how I got in. But having faculty that were there encouraging me to do something ridiculous, like even apply for the FBI, because I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anybody in the FBI, but having the faculty there to guide me through and to say, yes, you should do this, yes, you should apply, and then just walking me step by step through that process was absolutely an advantage.
I'm going to second that and go with the faculty support was amazing. Misty Weitzel is the head of the forensic anthropology classes. She's not here today, but she was the guiding, like the force behind all of my success. She pushed me to complete the forensic anthropology minor. She made allowances for the fact that I was doing it in a year. She encouraged me and helped me find grad programs. She found me my position teaching here. Like, the faculty are not just teach you and done kind of people. They will, if you reach out to them, they will keep up with you and encourage you through the rest of your career, and I really appreciated that. That and the lab. We have a hands-on lab, and that was a huge part of how I got to where I am today.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. Not to discriminate you, Jeriel, since you work for us. So I know some of you folks here, students, are still thinking about whether you should go to college or not, correct? So with that being said, I would like to turn this question going backwards, starting from Kevin. Is there a disadvantage of others in your profession who do not have college degree in your experience?
Yeah, I would say that it is a significant disadvantage. I was in a very similar situation as a lot of you. I did not know if I really wanted to go to college. I just thought it would be fun, and I was mainly looking at the fun angle. But looking back now, I am so glad that I did. So much so that after I finished here, I went to work for the FBI, and then I even went back for a master's degree and worked another 2.5 years for that. And because I still find so much value in learning more things. And it is nice to have that extra degree, but I think more so than that, it's nice to know more things, because that is actually added value in every single aspect of my life. So I would say that it was a significant disadvantage if you do not at least attempt to pursue higher education. Yeah.
In my experience working with parole and probation, I do see a disadvantage, specifically in the amount of years of experience. In order to move up or move into different positions or do something within your same position, you are required to qualify or apply for like certifications. And if you don't have like a specific number of years of experience, it will take a lot longer. Having that college degree has really helped me just that college degree kind of replaces the years of experience, allowing you to open up more opportunities to start doing more of other things you might want to do within the career. For example, I supervise the domestic violence caseload, and I'm working on to becoming a defensive tactics instructor. And so that kind of just helps speed up, since the college kind of replaces that number of years of experience otherwise required. So definitely, I encourage it for the college degree.
I would also mimic what the others have said, that there is, I feel, a big disadvantage if you're not able to pursue further education. In forensics, you cannot get a job. Our lab is accredited through ANAB as a 19020 forensic examination laboratory, and you can't get a job in a forensic laboratory without a degree and without heavy background in the sciences. So I would encourage that. And also, you know, a lot of positions, you have to at least, if you have to be like certified as a law enforcement officer or something like that, you have to at least be 21. So getting internships or volunteer positions just to check out what kind of different positions are around in the different fields, and it doesn't have to be law enforcement, but whatever your interest is, shadow those jobs, go out and look up those jobs online and find out what those requirements are, so that you can build your resume based off of the job that you want and make sure that you're, you know, above and beyond qualified for it. Education is a big piece of that.
Okay, I'm going to echo kind of what Kevin said. When I was in high school, I skipped all the time. I never went to school. I had no goals of actually going to college. So I graduated early and threw myself into the workforce and quickly realized that I wasn't going anywhere. So I started college a little bit later. I worked for a couple years and then enrolled in community college, and then I transferred up here. I'm from Eugene. And The benefits of college, as mentioned earlier, I would say Western's practicum program is amazing. They threw me into a department so I could go on ride-alongs, I could work with detectives, I could go out to autopsies and see actually what it was like. College is also beneficial, not to keep harping on this writing thing, but that was big for me. And also you get paid more if you have a college degree. At least my department does, I'm sure all these other agencies do too, so there's a huge bonus there as well. You also make yourself more marketable for promotions. Certain agencies require degrees to promote and move up in your career field, so there's absolutely nothing bad about college. I support it completely.
And I had another piece. A lot of agencies and departments also have incentive programs to help you earn college degrees or pay back pieces of student loans and things like that. And also, there's also federal programs for student loans if you work for government agencies.
For those of you that are just getting here, this is our alumni panel. These are individuals who came through our program. They sat in your same spot, maybe not the same exact spot or the same chair, but they went through this event. They were students. Eventually, they went on to have an amazing career in their field. And we have them here so that you can hear what it's like to be in those professions. We're going to leave you some time for questions a little bit later, but for now, Mari's going to resume the panel. We're super happy to see that this is a room that is full and that you're all interested in our program. So thank you for being here. Mari.
Thank you. So next question, what advice would you give to students who are interested in pursuing your career path? Sabrina.
I would my specific career path as a police officer, I always recommend people do lots of ride-alongs, not just with my department. I always recommend ride with city, county, and state agencies. When I interned here, or did my practicum here, I was placed with Oregon State Police. While I thoroughly enjoyed it, I realized that was not the right fit for me. I then worked for Marion County Parole and Probation, also determined county wasn't the right fit for me specifically, and that's how I ended up with a city agency. In addition to those ride-alongs, I always recommend that people ride with different tenured officers. So a veteran officer that's worked there for 20 years is obviously going to be different than a officer that just went solo, right? And I also recommend different shifts. So a day shift on a Tuesday might be a little more boring than a Friday night graveyard shift, right, in a busy part of town. Mari actually, Professor Sakiyama, rode with me several years ago on a ride-along, so we had a great time, so she got to see what I did for work every day.
Thank you so much, Sabrina. It was really fun. As Sabrina was an excellent police officer to ride with. Who has done a ride-alongs before? Do you even know what that is? Okay. Sabrina, could you explain to them what ride-alongs are?
Yes. So you do have to be 18, but you can apply for a ride-along. It's just a very short application, and you get to select a date and time. And if you have an officer in mind you'd like to ride with, you can ride in the police car with them and see what they do every day. So obviously, if you watch YouTube videos or Cops or some kind of show on TV, you might have an idea of what it's like. But once you actually set foot in that car and ride with us and come out on calls with us, you truly don't have any idea what it's actually like to do our kind of job.
Excellent. What about you? So the question was, what would you advise students who are interested in pursuing your career path? Houston, what would you say based on your experience?
I would say one of the things that was very helpful that a professor once told me was to make sure that you're conducting your personal life as right now as you're building and getting ready for a career, conduct your personal life in a manner that somebody would want to hire you. So if, for example, I'll gear it towards law enforcement since that's where I work, if you want to work in law enforcement, probably posting photos of underage drinking and things of that nature all over your social media is not going to look good during background investigations. And so make sure that your values align with what you want to do. So I think that would probably be my biggest piece of advice.
Thank you. What about you, Myra?
So with parole and probation, I think that one of the best things you can do, if you have any questions, reach out to your advisor, ask those questions. If you're wanting to find an internship, they're very resourceful and can probably connect you with probably a good county for you to do an internship, you are also able to reach out to those counties just on your own, send an email, give a call, and we're always open to have interns in the office, just so you can kind of check out a couple days and try to get a feel for it. Like our days are pretty different depending on who you're also kind of interning with. So it can be very interesting, but that way you get more of an experience before you say, this is what I want to go for. But stay open-minded and reach out, ask for help, ask questions, and just try it out. And that way, I mean, that's the best way for you to find out.
So here's the deal with the FBI. I'll give it to you straight. I knew absolutely nobody in the FBI before I started. I only knew what I had seen on TV and in the movies, which is what all of you are probably seeing. I did not know anything about it. I was thinking that before I applied for my internship that, once I hit that submit button that like the FBI was gonna be like listening to me and like they were gonna be like following me. I just didn't know. But I think as far as advice for people that are interested in the FBI or any other agency is just be bold enough to just apply. I knew nobody. I did not have any special skill set. I worked really hard and I was just crazy enough to apply. And I applied. And I was very surprised when I got an email back from the FBI. I immediately thought it was spam. So I thought about maybe not responding to it, but I did. And it worked out. And I started the process. I did the background. I did the polygraph, all that stuff. And I've been there now for 12 years, and it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun. It is not what I expected at all, but I say that in a very good way. But just regardless if it's the FBI or state police or anywhere else, just be crazy enough to even submit an application, because a lot of people they just will immediately think, well, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that good, but you are, and just be crazy enough to even try. That's essentially the point.
I did not start out wanting to teach. When I was your age and when I was in college, I was very adamant. I am never, ever, ever going to teach. I hate talking in front of people. It's the worst thing ever. So if you are pursuing my career path, I have no idea what to say to you. I didn't want to pursue my career path until I went to grad school and realized that actually teaching is a lot of fun. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just have to know more than your students. And I can do that. Like, that is the bare minimum. I can meet that requirement. So if you want to do forensic anthropology, I can speak to that. Take advantage of our lab. Take advantage of the people that know more than you, and read everything you can get your hands on. So the point of college is that you are here to learn. Take advantage of your time here and really learn. Don't just put in the time for the credits, put in the time for your future.
Excellent, thank you all. I would like to soon turn a table to you and let you ask questions to a great panelist. Before I do that, briefly, starting from Jeriel, the last question I would like to ask all of you is, what do you find most exciting or fulfilling about your job?
Okay, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love my lab. I love that we have the opportunity to go to the lab and experience and learn from human remains and human bones hands-on. But the favorite part about my class is actually my students. And not that you guys are all amazing people all the time, because let's be real, I'm not an amazing person all the time, although I am pretty amazing. It's actually that light bulb moment when we're like having a conversation and my students are struggling with something, and then we manage to figure it out just enough to click it into place, and they're like, oh my goodness, this makes so much sense. I love that moment. I live for that moment, which is why like one-on-one conversations with students are way more fun for me than conversations with the class, because I get to have that moment and see that light in your eyes much more clearly.
I would say the most exciting or rewarding thing about my job is finding people that don't expect to be found, and I really enjoy that. I like complex puzzles. I like every single day, every puzzle is different. The offense might be the same, but every situation, every single case is different. And I really enjoy and have noticed that there's a direct correlation between the more effort that I put into trying to find something, the more rewarding it is once we do find that thing that we're looking for. And I really enjoy that. And I think that that's what's kept me motivated and kept me eager to go to work.
For me, one of the best parts is when I'm working with my clients directly. We're working together over years. And so we really get to know our clients, know their struggles, what they're going through, what they're trying to achieve. And so we work together and try to kind of help them get back on their feet, trying to get things going better for them so that way they don't come back to our office. And so the best part is when we're able to see that big turnaround in people's lives and they're finally off supervision, and I get those occasional monthly emails from some of my people who are no longer on supervision, just updating me about how well things are going with them finding their jobs, buying a car, like the milestones for them, when it's just really nice to see that big turnaround in their lives and seeing how much people's lives change.
Man, I'm in nerd heaven at my job, so breaking it down to a single favorite thing is difficult. I'd say one of them is I'm a lifelong learner type, and you always have to keep your skills fresh. You know, with the world of crime evolving, it is necessary to continue to learn modern technology and applications in your field, and I love being able to do that. I just got back in January from Texas State University. Work sent me there to go to the body farm to do a week and a half long couple of courses on recovery of human remains. And that was like the dream for me. It was a lot of fun. I've always wanted to go there. So that is one of my favorite things. I also really like getting called out to major cases in the middle of the night and getting to help with those, or, you know, observe an analyst and help them do their jobs. Whatever I can do to be involved and support my awesome coworkers.
I'm actually very excited to answer this question. For those of you that came in late, I mentioned earlier that I investigate crimes against children and crimes sexual in nature. So I have the very darkest cases, the most horrific things that happen to little kids. So I would say the most rewarding part of my job is making a difference in a child's life, kind of like Myra, watching kids progress throughout school and see that they have made improvements, or they're doing well, or having a kid, like, sometimes they write me letters and say thank you for keeping me safe or for protecting me. I know.
Thank you very much, all. Okay, like I said, so I would like to turn this table around and let you ask a question, but just a friendly reminder, and thank you very much, Sabrina, for repeating yourself of what you do to them. So I just wanted to give you a reminder that Jeriel here, she's our adjunct professor. She teaches for us anthropology, forensic anthropology class. And Kevin works for FBI as a tactical analyst. And Myra, she's a parole and probation officer, works for Polk County Community Corrections. And we have Houston, who works for Washington County Sheriff's Office as a forensic technician. Then we have Sabrina, Salem Police Department's detective. All right. Does anybody have any questions to all of the panelists, or in particular one? I guess there, I see a hand in the back.
So I just have a question for any of you that have a family. How would you say that your workload with your family, like with your children, works out, and how do you make that kind of work, having the job and being able to have family time as well?
I'll start. I actually was pregnant with my child while I was here at Western, my senior year. So I think it worked really well. My husband is a police officer as well. My ex-husband is also a police officer. So my daughter knows nothing other than a law enforcement family. She became very used to doing Christmas on maybe December 23rd, or we would always still find ways to celebrate and do things, maybe just some adjustments. My schedule now is very nice and kind of cushy. I work day shift and weekends off and such. But my job is very accommodating for, if you need to take kids to doctor's appointments and be there for teacher conferences or whatnot. I've even had my kids come to work with me, not in my job now, but I always found it easy to do. We make it work.
I would like to know Mark's point of view if you have kids, just because my career goal is to become a homicide detective or something in that pursuit. So I know it's kind of a heavy workload, especially on families.
So I'm assuming I'm Mark.
Or, sorry.
It's Kevin, but I'll forgive
Kevin,
you.
excuse
You
me.
can call me Mark too. It's cool. Well, it's totally good. So I actually have 3 daughters. So I have a 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 9-year-old, and I've actually found that the balance has actually been better, significantly better than I had expected. It's a nice balance because at work it's typically very bad things. It's always the worst people doing the worst things in the worst ways. But it's nice because, it's kind of like the yin and yang, right? So you have all this negative stuff, but then when I go home, it's all great. Like, these kids don't know what I do during the day. Like, they know where I work, but they don't know anything more than that, which I really enjoy, and it's all positive whenever I'm home, which is, I think if it were the opposite, maybe if I didn't have kids and I still had this job, it'd be significantly worse on me, but I found it to be a pretty good balance.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm a mom of 6, and I've got one next to me. So,
Yeah,
and
no, it's
her idea is maybe criminal justice.
It's very possible, yeah. And
Awesome.
if you ever need anything, just email Mark, and I'll get back to you.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm just wanting to ask any of you guys, but when you are troubled, what helps you push through? Like, what motivates you?
My dog. My dog is very good at figuring out when I'm stressed, usually when it comes to grading, and then providing all of the appropriate amounts of snuggles. So I stay home and grade because we're hybrid a lot of the time. So that works out pretty well for me.
I would second the dog. I have a Great Dane, so I needed big snuggles. That and just getting out in nature, I really find that helps calm me down. So going to the beach or going on a hike with my husband and our dog, those things are really helpful. And also having a support system in your life outside of the realm of your work. Don't make all of your friends cops if you're a cop. Don't make all of your friends FBI agents if you're an FBI agent. Have people outside of that, because it can get easy at times to get burned out and have a not necessarily the most positive outlook on the world and society. So it's helpful to have those other people that help bring that back into reference.
Excellent point. Excellent point. Thank you, Houston. I hope you have a dog too, Myra.
I don't, but support systems, like she mentioned, keeping your work life and your personal life separate, the separate side of friends, it's big. Don't make your coworkers like your main source of support. It's really great to vent because they understand what's going on, and so that's also really nice. Having the people who know what's going on and give you some advice or help you if needed, but also having that kind of getaway for just a personal life, so that way not everything's revolving your life with the issues going on at work or the cases you're handling or the things you're seeing. It's a nice break, and that's very important.
This might be a big question, but what's the different similarities between state, federal, and county law enforcement?
I would say where your funding comes from. So, federal is going to be the overarching agency. They have the rules all the way up at the top. The lower agencies, then you go to state, and then county, and then city. So you have to meet those minimum requirements, and you can exceed them, but you at least have to meet minimum requirements of your state and the federal laws. And then funding, and for your position specifically. My internship was with city police at their crime laboratory, and that was really nice. I know from the cop angle of that, your response times and having backup are a lot easier because everybody's closer by. When you go to a bigger agency like county or further up, it might take a longer amount of time for your backup to get to you if you need help in a situation, because your district and service area is going to be a lot larger.
Okay, and to wrap this up, really the one thing that I want you all to get out of this panel, and kind of the reason why we put it together, is a very simple thing. These are individuals who are sitting in your spot one day. And if you were to ask them, or myself, because I actually was doing one of these panels a couple of years ago, we never thought that we were going to get here, to where we are today. And what I want to say to you is, give yourself the opportunity to come here, to experience this university, this program, this faculty. When I took my very first criminal justice course, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I'm a first-generation student and a first-generation immigrant. When I took that first class, I was blown away. I mean, it completely changed the way that I saw so many things, and it just really, really got my interest, and I decided to pursue a degree in criminal justice, and the rest is history. So, I'll leave you with that. Give yourself the opportunity, give us a chance, give this program a chance, and one day you can be sitting on that side of the table instead of sitting on this side. So with that, thank you all. Thank you to the panelists.
Thank you.